Hey everyone, and welcome to the September 2021 product release webinar. My name is Peter, I'm the product manager here at Eagle Software, and joining me today is Luke, our CEO. Welcome, Luke.
Hi, Peter, and hi everyone. Thanks for joining us today.
And also James, our client success manager. Welcome, James.
Hey, Peter. G'day, everyone.
Cool. So today we're just doing a run through of everything we've released over the last quarter. So we'll dive straight into it. And I will mention as well, if you do have questions as we go through this webinar, please post them in the comments below, and we'll answer questions as they come through. Okay, so first we're going to have a look at the new commission worksheet that we've made. So we're just going to jump into a contract here, and we're going to head over to the commission tab. And essentially what we've done here is just overhauled this commission worksheet to make it really easy and simple to calculate your commissions for agents. So what we've done is we've beefed up a few of the existing sections. For example, the expenses section, you can now add expenses as a percentage as well as a dollar amount. And you can also now define expenses and deductions that you would use often. So you can define them and then just load them in from a dropdown. And another big part is on the agent allocation. So we've added a few different things here. We've got the commission category. So previously we just had listing, selling, or both, but now you can still have these, but create your own commission categories. So you could have things like referral agent or PA fee or conjunctional, any kind of commission category where you're going to allocate commission to an agent. You can add them in here. And it allows you to allocate again as a percentage or a dollar amount. And we've also disconnected from the settlement date. So now sometimes commissions may be paid at different dates. And you can see here, we can actually tie the commission payout date to one of the contract dates, or we can set a custom date here as well. And all of this ties into the reporting that we've built around this too. And so once an agent allocation has been set, you'll see that each agent has a agent allocation card, and then we have the agent splits in here. So again, there's defaults that you can set on a per agent basis in the agent profile. You can set their default split. So when you're loading in their allocations, it'll automatically load their split, and then it will work out how much commission that they get. We've also added this deduction section on a per agent level, and that allows you to load in deductions for particular agents that they need to pay the office back. And we have the summary, which just has all the beefed up information in there as well. We've got the summaries as well. You can email or download these summaries to the agents, and that's just a great way to keep them informed as to what they're getting paid, and any deductions, and how much they earned from this. So we've updated some of our reports. We've updated the dashboard widgets to use all this new information, and we've got the commissions around this as well. So this is going to make it just really easy to manage the calculating commission and keeping track of everything around that.
Yeah, this has been a great upgrade that we've done. The team's done an amazing job in here. It's a lot nicer to look at, easier to use as well, and a lot quicker to use, as well as, I guess the biggest point, of course, is it's a lot more flexible. You can account for all different types of commission splits and deductions and expenses and that sort of thing in here. And that leads into the agent ledgers as well, which is the next part of our release this quarter. And agent ledgers allow you to keep a running balance of the amounts that are earned and owed by agents. Allows you to keep track of commissions that they've earned and different expenses that they might have incurred as well. So it's very simple. Just shows you a running ledger. At any point you can add a credit or add a debit using this pop-up, which you'll be familiar with. It's the same sort of pop-ups that we use for our emails and SMS sendings and lots of other actions in the software. So again, that pop-up you can use on different screens, and if you're switching to different screens, that pop-up will go with you so that you can keep that information there handy. And you can also here generate a statement and email statements from this screen as well. And it's just a great way to manage that admin process, keep agents in the loop, and be transparent about everything, and just make it easier. Saves having an extra Excel sheet going.
Cool. All right. So now I'll flick over to James, and if you wanted to give us a little bit of a rundown.
Yeah. So now we're going to come on through to our buyers table, which hopefully any of the sales agents out there are using as part of their everyday process in Eagle. So I'm going to jump in here to one of our residential sales. We're going to head to the buyers table. So the new upgrades to our buyers table was we've got a few more columns in here now. Things like last contacted. So, hey, when was the last contact we had with this client? Obviously, if this was live data and we had a buyer here, Scott, I'd hope it's been a lot less time than 7 months. We also have our next upcoming tasks. So if, hey, we probably want to give Scott a call, whether we're adding in a task here, I could see when that next task is upcoming. We can also start expanding these. So we want to have a look at, hey, what are people saying? What are our different buyers actually saying? What have we done with them? They inspected it, they attended an inspection. Now we can also, if we needed to, some of these things we may not want on the vendor's report. This person said something very negative and I updated my note there. What I also will see now is an indicator that this is not visible on our vendor report. We've also changed things where if you've got a property where you've got some agents are getting 200 plus inquiries on their listings, I know, lucky them, but we don't have to keep on scrolling infinitely down our page now. We've now paginated this. So you can flick between pages. So you've all got it within that same screen. You don't have to keep on scrolling until you tire out your finger there. Another great thing, as you've seen before, was that ability to edit these notes. So sometimes we've got notes coming through. You might have tapped in a note a couple of times for an inspection and we want to delete this blank one off. I can easily edit or delete that note and hey, that's now gone. And another great thing too is everyone's got different information they find important. For some people, it's going to be, hey, who's offering the most on this property? Who thinks it's the highest value, I should say. It might be, hey, when did we last contact somebody? But based on these, if I click on these arrows here, I can sort this data by the column I have selected. And if you didn't already know some other things, sometimes I do strategy sessions with clients, they don't know about this stuff. If you're ever wondering, hey, how do I add in offers easily? We've got these little plus buttons, like Luke was talking about those pop-ups earlier. Pop up, we could edit this throughout the system. So please do use this buyers table. It's a fantastic way for us to be managing our inquiries.
And just jumping in there as well is another thing we've added here is the filters. So if you want to filter and just see the people that have requested a contract, for example, you can come in here, filter on contract request status, and just show the ones that you still need to, they've requested it, but we haven't sent them yet. And just gives you a list of those people that you just need to action straight away. So that's another great feature, and it's not just contract requests. You can see basically anything you'd want to be able to filter on in this section. You can use that. It's the same filter composer that we have in other areas of the software, so you can get as advanced with those filters as you like.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been a work in progress. We've been listening to a lot of feedback, and yeah, we've got some more updates to come as well in the future on the buyer table. So yeah, I think it's becoming very powerful and yeah, helping a lot. Alrighty.
That brings you on through to advanced reports now, Peter.
Yep. So I'm going to jump into admin and go to advanced reports. So advanced reports are part of our CRM Plus plan. And basically, advanced reports allow you to query the data in your database and display reports how you like them. And we've kind of gone with the approach, as you can see here, we've got average sale price by month, contact source, sales leaderboard, number of listings by agent. So we've got all these different kind of ways that you can display data. And the process of adding a report is pretty straightforward. You're just selecting all your measures and your dimensions and your time. So you can kind of query the database in quite a detailed way. So you can build the kinds of reports, see exactly the data you want to see. And once that's created, yeah, then you can drop it on the dashboard and you can move these widgets around, you can resize them and you can edit them as well. So yeah, this is pretty popular, and yeah, we're seeing lots of really cool reports that clients are making up with this.
Yeah, I mean, the goal with this one was, we obviously, as a CRM, we have a lot of data for people. And the goal with this was to allow people to interrogate that data, create visualizations and get understandings and insights, and be able to make decisions based on the data that they own. So this has been a great tool to surface some of those insights.
Cool. All right. So now we're going to head over to custom signatures.
So this is one of our most highly requested features, being able to add your own signature to the bottom of emails. So like things like, say, Outlook, where you can add in your own HTML signatures, we've now brought that to Eagle. So first of all, we want to head to Agent Profiles. We come to edit our own profile there. And if we scroll down to where we've got email signature, by default, you'll have the system one that'll put in a nice photo of you, your details. But if we select HTML, that enables us to actually paste some HTML code in here. Like Peter's just doing for me now, he's just pasted in a custom one he's built up there behind the scenes, and boom, we've got a pretty little signature there. Now, some of you might be going, HTML, what on earth does that mean? Now, we've made things a little bit simpler for you. Up in just a little description there, we've got an option, this email signature builder. If we click on that link, it brings you through to a handy little third-party tool. We can actually create your own layout. They've even got some examples there that you can edit the details for. So up to you, if you're a bit of an HTML whiz, you can either do that in your own system or come through to here, build it, and paste that code into Eagle. And now when you use our fast and easy design, or if you just go to send a general email from the system, it'll now use that custom signature.
Yeah, and I'll just add on that as well. If you've got an existing signature layout that you would like to add, you can get your designer, or we can do it as well. And yeah, we can code up the HTML for you. Depending on the scope of changes, maybe a small cost involved, but yeah, we can basically, you've got full flexibility as to what signature that you have in here. Cool. All right. So next, we're going to have a look at the advanced, the group dashboard.
So like we've done for the advanced reports that we just showed a minute ago, we also have a group level dashboard as well. So if you've got a few accounts in your group, we have this dashboard so that you can interrogate data across all of the accounts in your group. Now it's the same dashboard, it's the same builder that's in the advanced reports, but it's the data that's shared across the group. So if for example, we wanted to build an office leaderboard so that you could see, sales across your group, you would come in here, you would select whatever measures that you're interested in, and then what dimensions you're interested in, and what time frame we're looking at. So here we're looking at Pete, we need to select contracts count.
Oops, I've done contracts. Yeah.
So here we're looking at the number of contracts that settled. Sorry, here we're looking at the number of contracts that are created over time in each of the accounts, and Pete's put them as a visualization here so that you can see how your offices are comparing against one another. Pete's just flicked it to settled. And so, yeah, it's very easy to create all different types of reports.
Yeah, and then we'll just go ahead and name that contract settled. To that effect. And we have this new widget here. We can now place. Oops. We can now place on our dashboard where we want.
Yep. So again, highly flexible and just giving people access to their own data.
Cool. Do we want to have a quick look at the other?
Sure. I mean, this is also in our group dashboard. We have our accounts. You can see all of the accounts in your group, as well as jump in and out of those accounts. So you can, if you need to provide support to different members in their account, you've got an overarching account that you can switch between the different accounts in your group.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's jump back to our normal Eagle account.
And speaking of logins, that brings us through to two-factor authentication.
So this is a very important security feature that we've recently added. As everyone would be aware, security is becoming a massive issue, has been for a long time. And especially in real estate, we're dealing with very large transactions, and it's a target for scammers and hackers. And so it's very important to secure your account as strongly as possible. And with this two-factor authentication feature, it just gives that extra level of security on your users' accounts.
Yeah. So the way it works, you can see this visualization just here. As you're logging in, you'll be sent via email a one-time code, by email or by Authenticator app, depending on which you choose. And it's just a matter of doing that once every 30 days per device. And that's just, yeah, obviously a way to increase security there. And setting it up is very simple. You just come into, hover over your image in the top right corner and go to My Profile. It'll take you to this page. Here, first you set a security question. And so you would put in your security question and answer, and then save that. And then once we have a security question enabled, then we're able to actually set if we're using two-factor authentication, either via email or by the Authenticator app. So doing it through the Authenticator app, you just need Google Authenticator or Authy or something like that, and you can scan the QR code and enter it in, and then you're set up. Or for email, it's very easy. You just click enable email 2FA, that just gets enabled. And then going forward, when you log in on a new device, it will just do that one-time code request as you're logging in. Alrighty, so just quickly as well, we have also introduced a bunch of new filters. We go to the contacts, so we've got things around like mobile sync or interest level. You can now filter, so all those by interest level, price feedback, ownership type. So we're always kind of adding filters. It's something that we can kind of do on an ongoing basis. So if you do have new ideas for filters, you can always let us know, and chances are that we're able to build that in one way or another. And next, we're going to have a look at the mobile app. So we've got a few things that we've been doing on the mobile app. So what I'll do is I will share the mobile screen. I'll just join the meet.
A mobile app, obviously a very important part of the software, something we've got a lot of resources dedicated to continually improving the mobile app, adding features, and now with some of these updates, we're probably one of the most fully featured mobile apps on the market, if not the most fully featured. A lot of functionality in our mobile app now, across inspections, inquiries, contacts, appraisals. We've got addresses, contracts, so which Peter's going to show. But yeah, a lot of extra functionality has gone into the mobile app in this last quarter, and still a lot more still coming as well.
All right, so
you're down on your steps today, Peter.
Yeah, I need to do some more walking today. All right. So first thing we're going to look at on the mobile app is so the contracts and addresses. So one thing you'll actually will have noticed is the sidebar, or the menu, I should say. We've redone this. Obviously, we've added a few things in here. We've got the addresses and the contracts now. So we've tidied that up. It's a bit more in line with the web app. And yeah, essentially addresses and contracts, there's really not much more to it than what you would expect. Just like you had your listings in here, now you've got all your addresses in here. You can access all of those. You can access all the tabs. You can view the activity feed. You can see who your owners are. You can, add notes. You can do, everything that you would expect to be able to do. And likewise on the contracts is really handy because when you're out and about, you can quickly access some of the contract, the dates. You can see when things are due or when they're due to settle, things like that. And also the contacts. So if you're trying to find a phone number for a buyer or their solicitor, you can easily access all the contacts on the contract within this section. So that's really handy to have. Another thing that we've done in a listing and onto the buyers tab, what we have is this filter. You can filter your buyers, and you'll see this is, we can filter by interest level, contract request status, if they've inquired or inspected or offered. So this is kind of in line with the buyers tab on the web app. So if we run those filters, we can see we've got all our buyers here. We can tap into them. We can change, if we swipe right, we can update the price feedback, the contract status, and also the interest level on individual buyers. What we can also do is we can select individual contacts here, and we can do bulk communications. So what you could do is, if you wanted to just send a communication out to your interested buyers, for example, then you could do that very easily. You select all your interested, select at least one, then you can just tap select all at the top, and then we can go ahead and send them all a communication, an email or an SMS, and we can send that out, load in a template and send it out quite easily. Okay. Another thing that we've done just on the main contact screen is we've introduced this bulk email and SMS. Sorry, not just on the contacts, on all the screens like addresses, appraisals. So you can tap on a contact, and again, you can select X amount, and yeah, you can use the email or SMS in the top. You can do that for your addresses or your appraisal contacts. So if you want to send communication to your appraisal contacts, you can select appraisals and you can communicate with them as well. So that's really powerful for sending communications out when you're out and about.
And one good thing as well, which was a heavily requested feature, is when you're sending SMSs, the ability to send those SMSs from your own phone instead of sending through Eagle. So here you can send through the virtual number, which means replies will feed into Eagle. You can send through your own phone plan through Eagle, or you can also send through your own mobile phone as well, which would then use your own phone plan's SMS rate.
Cool. All right, that's that one. Now we're going to jump over to the inspections flow. And what we've added here is, if you go across to the QR code tab, you can now have the QR code displaying off your phone. So in case you have accidentally forgotten to print out, or maybe you just don't want to waste paper, you can now just have your phone or your tablet displayed at the inspection, and people can just scan in that way. So that's yeah, that was one that we had a bit of feedback on, so we were able to get that one in. Another thing, when through the inspection flow, when you're actually emailing all your attendees, which we don't have any at the moment, so let's maybe just pop one in.
One thing, just while you're on this, Pete, if you wanted to search by phone number here, we've added a phone number keyboard as well.
Yes, correct. So basically, yeah, we had feedback that people prefer to check in by mobile phone number. So searching by mobile phone, you can just toggle between the two different kinds of keypads, and the app will remember which one you were on last, which makes it makes it really easy for when you're going between inspections. So that is a good one. So on attendees, now when we say I'm an interested buyer, now when we go to send documents, we have this toggle here, set contract status request to send. So if you're sending this out to 10, 15 buyers or more, it just allows you to bulk update that contract request status rather than doing that manually. And because obviously we're sending documents at this point, that just makes that flow really simple and easy to do. So one final thing we'll show you is we've just made a few tweaks to the contact page, you'll see at the top, we have the call, email, and SMS buttons there. And oops. And so if you're changing it between tabs, that's always going to show. So it gives you quick access to easily, place a call or send an SMS or email the contact. And if, for example, the SMS, the phone number, mobile number wasn't present, when you tap that, it'll ask you to add it in as well. So yeah, that's just a little bit of ease of use updates there. And the final thing we wanted to talk about just with the mobile is the caller ID. So obviously we released caller ID for Android in the last release, and we've been working on the caller ID for iOS. So that's going to be coming soon. It's unfortunately not this quarter, but yeah, it should be coming in next quarter. And yeah, obviously that's very highly anticipated as well. So that will be coming soon. All right, I will drop out with my phone here.
Thanks, Peter, for sharing us with some stuff from the mobile app. Now, one very exciting thing that we've got coming up is PropPay. So PropPay is a payments product for the real estate industry. Basically, there's a few use cases, but the biggest use case is vendor paid advertising. So you might be collecting your advertising at the front or at the start of a campaign, and you might be facing some resistance from vendors to pay the advertising at the start, or you might be collecting your advertising at the end of a campaign at settlement, but then if a property withdraws, or you're also carrying a lot of debt by doing that. So what PropPay does is it allows you as the agent to receive your VPA at the start of the campaign, and the vendor can pay it at the end of the campaign. So it solves problems for everyone. And it's not just about the vendor paid advertising, but now because the vendor has access to some extra cash, they might be able to do some renovations, they might be able to do some painting or just some other home improvements, to assist with getting a higher sale price for their property. Another use case for PropPay is commission advances. So if you want to get commission early for some of your sales, you can do that with PropPay. You can also just use it for basic payments as well. So to accept credit cards, PropPay can do that as well. So we're building a very deep integration with PropPay so that you can just access it straight from within Eagle. You'll be able to do payment requests from inside the appraisal screen. So it's going to be a game changer. I think it's going to help a lot of people. It solves a very big problem. And so we're very excited to be working on this, and they'll be released in the coming quarter.
Cool. All right, thanks for that update. So now we've obviously we've been releasing a few advanced features. We've got the advanced reports. We've now got the agent ledgers. There's a few other bits and pieces. And so I was hoping that if James could share a little bit of information on the differences between the CRM plans, because some of our clients might be interested, I guess, in utilizing some of these features that we're releasing.
Awesome. Cheers, Pete. And it's very cool about that PropPay as well there, Luke. I think we're going to have a lot of clients taking that on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, having a look at between Pro and Plus. So we've got different subscription levels out there. Now, depending on where you came on board, you'll be on a different level, but we've got newer plans these days. If you are one of our older clients, we've got what we call Starter, Pro, and Plus. Now, Starter, fantastic for those new agencies that are budget conscious, just need an uploader and get some of those, inquiries and things like that coming through. But then we head up to Professional. Now, that's what most offices will begin on, because that's when you're getting into the databasing, automations, powerful automated response, contracts, appraisals, mobile app integrations. But to take things a step further, we've got our Plus subscription. And this comes into agencies that are typically very busy and or do rentals, and also need to get some more data out of their system. They're putting a lot of contacts in, they've got a lot of sales happening, their staff are doing a lot of things, and they want to see, hey, what's actually going on in my account? So Plus takes us to the level where we've got a booking inspections and availability calendar. So if you've ever used other products out there that enable clients to book and register for inspections online, and that works for both sales and rentals. So whether you're sales focused, property management, or both, people can book and register for inspections online, which for some agencies has been a massive requirement for them with COVID. People not being able to just turn up to open for inspections. This book inspections will really help you out in those areas. Then we move on to rental application. So if you might be using things like OneForm out there, which are really annoying because you can't actually ask your own questions, and you just get people hitting, apply, 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 and for your properties, they're not even checking things out. So what we've done, we brought out a product after clients asking us, hey, can we do applications through you guys? So we brought out this system where people can apply online. You actually get to customize your form, and all that data comes back into Eagle within an area called leasing that you get to manage your inquiries, those inspection bookings, and the application process. And anytime that you're updating the status, our automations, they power the communications to both the tenants and the landlords. And landlords, once you've approved everything, including all the reference checks that get sent out, just like an application form, meaning customizable, you can ask those reference questions you want to ask. Once all that's been checked off, landlord can get sent a copy that they can approve as well. So really just sort of gives you a way to get all the questions you need to have answered and put that through to the vendor in a nice workflow. And then some of the things we went through today, like agent ledgers. So tracking those payments in and out of what you owe agents and what they owe you. And those advanced reports, we can build up your own graphs, dashboard screens to get the types of data you want out of the system. So I recommend, whether it's just something you hate, sounds interesting, I'm out there booking these demos for the CRM Plus. And hey, even if you're on Starter, CRM Pro sounds interesting. James is a guy you want to get a hold of, and I look forward to actually giving you a demo of this stuff because there's some really cool things in there.
So James, it might be worth mentioning as well, how should people get in touch with you if they're interested?
Yep. So I will include my details in this email that this gets sent out in. We have booking meeting for myself for a strategy session, whether it's just general going through the system. Hey, are we doing things right? Or what are those cool plans you spoke to us about? Also, you can give the support team a call and they'll put you in touch with myself. But it's james@eaglesoftware.com.au. If you do want to just send me a direct email, flick on through, we can start a chat and work out your goals.
Cool. Did you have anything to add, or Luke? Or
no, that's great. Thanks, James. Yeah, just reiterating that you can, we've always got our support team available. So if you had any questions, you need any assistance with any of the features that you've seen today in getting them set up for your office, James is a great resource. But maybe if you just want to know how to do something, you don't need that in-depth thing. That's where our support team comes in. If you're looking for that higher level assistance, and maybe how to achieve goals with your agency, that's where James is a perfect resource for you there.
Beautiful. And of course, with these webinars, we just also just like to encourage feedback as well. Obviously, we're building this product for you guys, and we want to make sure that we're building the right things and we're getting all the nuance right as well. So with any of these new features, please, we welcome feedback. Any ideas on things that you would like us to build in the future, yeah, please share it. You can share it with any of the team, and yeah, that all comes through to the product team, and we look at everything, and yeah, it helps us to build the product as good as we can. So that concludes the webinar today. So we'll turn off the screen share, and we'll probably stick around for a couple of questions if anyone wants to.
Yeah, we've had some questions coming on through during this, so we'll switch on over and get some of those answers out there for you.
Beautiful. All right, guys, so we're going to have a look through the questions here, and I will apologize. A few people mentioning the blurry screen, not sure what was happening there, but this webinar is being recorded, and yeah, we'll be sending that recording out as well. Okay, so first question here. So from Carleen, our agents need to get a minimum threshold before they start making commission. Is there a way to handle that? So currently, the way you could do that is by deducting the agent ledger itself. So say you have an agent who's earned 10,000 in commission, and maybe they need to earn 3,000 each month before they actually start earning that commission. And so what you could do is simply make that $3,000 debit on the agent ledger account, and that's how you could balance it out. Another way that you could potentially do it in the future is we're exploring the option of tiered commissions. So that way you'd be able to, for example, set rules where agents earn commission based on specific rules. So you might have a rule there where you'll be able to set that threshold. So yeah, that would be the way that we do that. Next question. Does the buyer table let me update vendor reports automatically? Might throw that one to you, James.
Yep. So anything you're updating in that buyers table is instantly updated on the vendor report. So that's certainly why I'd be in there if it was myself. That's where I'd be making most of my updates. It's a really easy to use screen to be adding in feedback, call notes, offers, and you can even see when tasks and all that have been completed recently on that contact. So absolutely, everything you're updating in that buyers table reflects onto that vendor report live. So even if your vendor was sitting there about to open it up and you just added in a new note, that'd be there straight away for them.
Cool. And next question, does that mean I can copy my existing signature into Eagle? So this is the custom signatures. So essentially, yes, is the answer. Because it's a HTML editor, you just need the HTML code made up for that. So like I mentioned earlier, we could do that, or if you've got an in-house designer or if you've got a web developer you work with, anyone can put the HTML together and then you would just copy it in there. So yes is the answer to that.
There's a question there as well, Peter. Can I edit custom reports myself? I think referring to the advanced reports. And
okay. Yep.
The answer to that is obviously yes. On the advanced reports, you just click into the Explore tab, and that's where you can do all the editing of the reports.
And that goes in line with the next question about, can we help you building new reports? Absolutely. And we are taking feedback on that report builder too. So that's probably a good one to book a meeting in with myself, being James. So that's james@eaglesoftware.com.au. Get in touch with our support team. But I can then do a meeting with you. We'll go through what type of data you're trying to pull out of it. We either build that then and there, or get some feedback in to be able to create that report for you.
Cool. And then Fraser asked a similar question. Our agents have a threshold base of commission they need to earn before. So I think that's essentially the same thing. You deduct it off the agent ledger, but we'd definitely like to hear feedback about that actually, because it'll help us to determine the rules that you can set actually meet how you want those thresholds to be set.
It sounds like the use case mentioned there, having the threshold base, that's definitely something you can achieve with the agent ledgers.
Okay, will I be able to do appraisals and see the buyer matches in the app?
Yep. All right, so that one, absolutely. So once you've got an appraisal in the mobile app, which you can add in there, you'll actually got a tab along the top, just next to contacts. There's one called matching contacts. And that's going to show you any of those contacts that have got those buyer preferences set up, or rental preferences if it's a rental appraisal, and those contacts will show in that match. So that's where you could be at the property doing the appraisal and be basically saying to that prospective vendor, hey, I've actually got 20 people here. I could send an email out if we get this listed today.
Cool. And then the next one around the QR code, I actually answered that in the chat just before, but the answer is no, the QR code is separate to the government ones. Each state kind of has their own QR system. And some states kind of floated the idea of doing an integration, but I think it went into the too hard basket for them. And they said, look, you have to use ours. So unfortunately it is, separate at the moment. Anne-Marie asks, so she's having some trouble with the Apple ID. So that one I think we'll probably refer to the support team. We'll get someone to get in touch with you about that. What will PropPay cost? Who pays the cost? So Luke, maybe did you want to?
Yeah, so there will be a few percentage points. The exact pricing isn't announced just yet, but it'll be a few percentage points for the vendor to take up that service, and it would be the vendor paying that cost.
Yeah. Cool. How can I upgrade my plan? How do I get a demo? So I mean, yeah, James is the guy to speak to.
Absolutely. Any upgrades, demos, just general conversations. I'm the person that will organize what we call a strategy session, go through your account, work out what you're trying to get out of the system, show you a bunch of the new functionality available, go through pricing, all those type of conversations I love to have.
Cool. And we have Ben Robinson. Quick question regarding the QR code. Okay, yeah, so this is the same questions before. Yeah, that is separate. And then Judd, can we have heating and cooling sources added for NZ conditions? Is that all we Aussie terms and us Kiwis have no idea what a split system is? Well, a split system is a heating and air conditioning unit. But
also known as a heat pump, as a fellow Kiwi. Yeah.
And you'll be able to help us out with the translation there. Yeah, we'd need to have a look into that. That's probably a feedback. We need to have a look where that all sits. And
I'll get in touch with you, Judd, and we'll go through what feedback you've got on that one.
There's also a question in the chat, the commission screen, can the agent have the view option or not? So maybe we can talk to the permissions around the commissions, Pete.
Yeah, so basically the permissions didn't change with the commission, with the new worksheet. So you have view commission, manage commission, and view all commission. Oh, sorry, view own, view all, and manage. So yeah, essentially, if you just want people to just see their own commission, the view own will do that, and that applies to the reports as well. So there's an agent commission report, there's an agent deductions report, and also yeah. So when people, the agents are going in there, they'll only see their data if that's enabled. And obviously, without that managed commission, they won't be able to edit the details on the commission sheet. There was one new commission that we added as well, which is called commission settings. So that's kind of where you set your commission categories, and on the agent profile where you set default agent splits. So yeah, so the short answer is yeah, you can limit or set the permissions around that as needed. Yeah.
Also, a question just coming from Fraser regarding the subscription page on Eagle doesn't tell us what level we're currently at. Could this be updated? I do really like that feedback, and we'll be putting that through on that page. You can easily access any of your billing information. What plan are you on? What are you being charged each month? By heading to settings in the top right and billing if you've got the access to that module in your system. If you haven't, just speak to one of the administrators.
Yep, and so we've also had from Trini in the chat as well, PropPay charge for agent commission option. So I think, Luke, is it similar?
Yeah, again, it's not finalized just yet. It'll be in the order of a few percentage points, and we can reach out to Trini. So it's currently being built at the moment, the PropPay integration. As we get closer to that, which will be hopefully later this month, or early next month, that build is completed, and then we'll be in touch with everyone talking about pricing options and you know, how to get it set up.
Cool. Well, that's all the questions, unless anyone has any last minute questions they want to put through right now. Doesn't look like it.
No.
Cool. All right. Well, we will wrap it up. Thanks for joining us. As I said, we have recorded this, so hopefully the recording has come through okay, and we'll be emailing that out as well. And yeah, thanks again. Thanks for joining me, James and Luke.
Yeah, and just a reminder, that's james@eaglesoftware.com.au. Just because the anonymous attendee asking about their plan, I'm not too sure who to contact on that one, so I'd love to get an email from you, please.
Okay. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, James. And thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Have a great hour.
See you.